What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Summit Power Rankings. I'm X-Ray. Joining me once again, Mr. Jason, coming off of a
Hello.
Titan win in playoffs. Congrats.
3-0, baby. Undefeated motherfucker. Shouts Tubby. Shouts Pyrocia. Shouts Borla. Shouts Neversaw. Shouts Gar, maybe. Okay,
Gar,
but
maybe. Hey, he did
nah,
not
goat sub,
go.
goat
He
sub,
did not lose
goat sub.
3 times in 1 week. So
No, he fucking popped
he
off.
popped off. So, but joining us this week, a very special guest. We've already seen him on the climb this season, but had to bring him on for the power rankings. He wanted to, so he's here. What's up, Mr. VLN?
What up, guys? I'm actually stoked to be here. Please keep in mind that I am in the middle of the boonies of Alabama, so I'll be muting and unmuting in between it, but I'm here for the PR.
Good
Okay.
internet.
Okay, I respect it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I got a podcast.
I don't have any
Now,
notes, so
you're gonna
I'm
need-
just gonna rip it and we're gonna go for it. All right. So, starting
Let's get this
off,
shit rolling.
I'm gonna start off. First off, number one. Listen, imagine solo killing Owen twice and he only killed you once. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. It's okay.
You're
Okay.
fucking insane, buddy.
All I'm saying is last week in power rankings I said if I solo killed Owen I'd put myself number one, so I'm keeping my word. You know, I solo killed Owen and I'm putting myself number one. Wonking second had a really good pop off couple series. Um, Played really well. I think. Who did he play this week? He played what?
You
McMamels.
beat Gar's. No, you beat Gar's fucking ass.
Oh yeah, Gar got kind of mollywopped this week.
He kind of fucking 1v9 that series.
Yeah,
Well, this team played well, but he popped off.
and then Owen, respect pick here. I think Owen is just, he's still a go. I mean, he's doing the most on his team in every game. He is trying to basically 1v9 every series, but is unfortunately falling short in most of the games. And then David, really good showing. SK Evaps, really pop off series. I should have probably put him above David, I think. But Evaps, he's coming back to his main role in the top lane, and he's popped off almost every single time so far, or in every game so far. So, Pat
Who?
Stick, Evaps,
Oh, Evaps. Okay, never mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pat Stick. I didn't see his game, wasn't streamed, so I put him here. Bronze Cena, I mean, he's still playing those carry type champions, but isn't having as strong of a performance. Um, on these games. King Caterwall moving to the top lane with Alan and the Chipmunks since Doki is no longer on the team, and we'll talk about their mid laner here soon. But the I think is 3-man swap. So Caterwall top, and then Black Knight mid, and then Vossler ADC. And King Caterwall honestly had some really good games. Honestly, I think a lot of top laners, just due to how many games were played this week, and how many teams played, it was a lot of Team B, but King Caterwall honestly played really well in his games, really good. And yeah, Gar, listen, man, it's looking rough, but keep your chin up. Dolph will be back next week, right? Right? Hopefully, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Berto, honestly, I think this is a really good spot for him. Maybe should even be higher right now, just because of like his role in this team is not to be a carry; it's more of just to be just this tank top laner, and just play scaling tops. So ISO, nothing. I got nothing for this guy. Zach gameplay. He actually plays Singed and played fairly well. So props to him. Asuna, he's played like 3 games this week or something like that, so he's been playing a lot of games. Banana, no comment. John Dye, no comment. So that's all I really got. But let's send it over to what, VLN. I want to hear this list because it looks so weird, funky to me.
You gotta let
So
me.
Yeah. You gotta let him explain it first
yeah,
before people look at
yeah.
it too long.
Okay, so listen, everyone's already looked at it, and I know people are going to be mad about it before they hear me talk.
They already
But just real quick,
typed.
Yeah,
for
they're like, what the
every-
fuck is this?
They're mad, man. But for every list except the team predictions, I did point value to performance, it is biased for this week games, but since so many teams played a variety of different numbers of series, it's actually like I tried to include overall performance. But also, I didn't really do numbering. My top 3, I think, were exceptional above their pick value. The middle, so that, the blue here, not the light blue, but the normal blue, I arranged them kind of higher to lower, but it really is, I think they performed at their level, with the exception of X-Ray. I will go ahead and tell him I think his solo kill on Owen, you got to give credit where credit.
Okay, respect.
Your bottom ones, your bottom 4, I think performed below their pick value. And so I do want to start by saying,
okay, I'm
Beartail
listening.
Beartail is a monster in the top lane. Like, especially for this guy to have been a relatively low point or high point value pick, so it's better for your budget, and to fill top laner, he is playing tanks in a way that I honestly wish that I could. I mean, he's stopping Owen. I think Owen never should have picked the K'Sante into the Malphite matchups, but he wasn't afraid not only to play the tank, but also play for win. And I think that he is kind of a stone wall in the top lane for a lot of teams, especially considering that I think the top lane pool overall is actually kind of weak. And so if you can't just bust him up on the top side, he plays tanks amazing. And if he never wanted to play top lane, Beartail, sometimes you're picked to be a top laner. When you're a big old boy, you play top lane. That's really just how it goes. And then it goes into a Wand Cake. A Wand Cake is a high value pick and has been talked about for like a long time as among the top. I mean, y'all have him at 2 as well. But this week, he was just a monster in the top lane. And I think showed off that he is a player that can carry his team to victory. And even in losing states, he will find ways to play very, very well. And I think that I wanted to see that from a Wand Cake. He is number 2, so I don't want to harp on him the most. But I got to say for number 3, this is the biggest upset. I'm saying it live right now. With the exception of Owen, SK Evaps is the best top laner Summit has ever seen. And I'll stand on that forever.
Ooh.
Why he's
Ever's crazy considering this your first season.
Yeah.
While
listen,
listen,
I've been here since the beginning.
How could you say that?
I've been here since the beginning, and I don't think he's close to second. I don't even know who its second would be.
I mean, Sprinkler just played last season for 1.
Yeah, I mean, Sprinkler. I mean, let's see, Sprinkler, Briz.
Briz, yeah.
X-Ray.
I want to say, to be fair, I do think Evaps is very, very good, but
Yes.
like to say that off the rip in your first season here is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, it's my first season playing. I've known Summit for a
Crazy.
while. Okay, I
Right,
know the
okay.
people.
I respect it.
Okay.
The thing you got to remember about Evaps, right, is one, what team captain is jailing him to jungle? That guy needs to be, I don't know, erased from the Summit history. That's all I'm gonna say. But after that, he's a child prodigy. Do you guys know SK Evaps is 12 years old? Did you know that?
What?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And so he's out
not
there.
12.
He is gapping people in the top lane who have
This kid's
lived
not
twice
12.
as long as he has.
You're trolling, right? There's no way
He's
this
not
guy's 12.
He is a child prodigy. DM him right
He
now.
is not 12. I'm not
DM
DMing a 12-year-old. You want me to DM a 12-year-old?
So he is 12 after all then, Jason, huh?
This kid's not 12, dude.
And so this guy is learning middle school algebra and dropping nuclear bombs in the top lane.
X-Ray's immediately going to go find him, by the way. Sus or not, chat?
Yo, wait,
Yeah,
there's no way this guy's 12.
Man,
You're 12?
Aha Man is his Discord.
Aha
Leaking
Man?
it live. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll find
it's
it.
all
I'll find it. You keep going.
Okay. And so I think relative to pick value, I guess I should have said. So keep in mind, that's my list. I'm not talking about, I guess, top laners altogether. But this guy sneaking in your budget, I think he can contend at a level. I think he could stonewall Owen or even play an Owen lane. And so, like, it's kind of Owen at Walmart, but he's worth more points. So you get to pick up other better players elsewhere. I think he's just a phenomenal player, despite his literal youth. And then I do got to give it to X-Ray. I mean, as someone who got 17 0'd by Owen top lane, if you do take even a kill off, it's like you gotta put it up there, man. Like, it's a crazy.
That's crazy.
Granted, okay, I will say I did not play lane very well post lane. I played it, I think, better. But the thing is, the laning phase is the most important, and he absolutely stomped me both games. So that's all I'll say for like.
Nah, don't give it to him, X-Ray. Don't give it to him. We got us low elo top laners got to stand on business.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, I respect
You
it.
just grouped it with him, by the way. Actually, that's a little crazy. I wouldn't take that personally.
I mean,
but-
I am gonna solo X-Ray. I'm gonna put X-Ray on a T-shirt when we play our game against each other.
That's
so I'm not really
if we play. You got to make playoffs first, buddy.
I'm gonna become Solo Bolo King, and you're gonna be relegated to Solo Bolo Jester. That's all I gotta say.
Okay,
so I don't wanna hear-
I love the shit talk. Okay.
I'm gonna kind of push through everyone real quick in the middle because, like I said, I think that y'all just played at your point value. Pat Stick is higher because I think he's a good player relative to PV. I got to talk to him about his series, but he showed he can play off the Ornn, which I think is really, really good. Oh, the other thing I want to shout out is Bron Cena's placement. I think Bron Cena would be in the top 3 if his team would commit to him being the carry over Neversaw. No actual shade to Neversaw, but if you look at what Bron Cena does for the team, I think the overwhelming majority of the plays that Gauntlet put together are because Bron Cena was opening pressure on the other side of the map or teleporting in and shifting the tides of a fight that was otherwise lost. I see that he's getting put higher. I do want to give him his
I think you got
crown
that shit
for his-
completely backwards, by the way.
I mean, in our series, if you watch the Gauntlet versus Thousand Year Dynasty, we would take a fight, be okay, and then it would be a Bron Cena teleport in, game over. That Aatrox champion, it takes no skill to play, but like we don't got to worry about that. He's the easiest champion in the whole game. But aside from that, I think those are really the only noticeable plays. I do think that King Caterwall not being a top laner, also dropping nuclear bombs is a crazy one to point out for me personally. I'm still getting to know all the players. I don't know if he's played top lane before, but I don't think he was listed as a top laner. I think
this
Did
is
you just
first
say you was in
season.
Summit for a while?
No,
Didn't you
he's-
just say you've been in Summit for a while?
I've known Summit. I've known Summit for a while.
Exposed lad chat.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go into the bottom players that we have, and I'm gonna talk about them in reverse order. So Owen was set up to be the carry for his team, and I think that if you're a carry top laner and you're locking K'Sante into Malphite twice, especially just saying that you weren't able to bolo through Baruto, even if it gives you set up into team fights for your team to win, you got to come out of lane like 20-0. And I don't think I really ever saw that in these series. The K'Sante versus Malphite, I mean, you see him 17-0 me, and he destroyed that game in 20 minutes. That's kind of what World Soup Center needed, I think, especially if you look around the map. And I think he was even given the resources to do it, and he did. He's still a great player, absolutely better than me. You're going to hear me say that a lot because people are going to come after me for my silver eyes. But that's kind of where I'm at. And then the same thing applies for John Dine. Maybe it is flame of me to say this. I got to fact check myself live right now before I say what I'm about to say.
Say,
I was surprised to learn that this player was Diamond 2.
yes, I
peak
believe that's
on-
correct. Yes. Mid lane, but
on-
yes.
Yeah, and it is mid, which is fair, but even still, I mean, y'all have him at 14, right? Which I guess top lane doesn't have me this week, but I don't think the level of play. I believe he was locking in like Galio, and
The buddy gets
doing-
hard gapped every single game, even worse than some of the lows do. So I think it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
and I think if you're a diamond player and you're getting gapped, you eventually have to just lock in like a tank and not.
He's
deal
not
with
even
it.
just losing; he is hemorrhaging gold in that lane. But I'll say that.
I can't remember what week we played him. It was like week 2 or 3, but we played against them, and we had to get a sub, and we got a silver player. It was a silver top laner,
I
and he
remember that.
gapped him. Like
I remember that, yeah,
it was
yep.
like not close. So
I was there.
I was there. And,
Chad, I was there.
But yeah, I think it's also like maybe he just doesn't understand everything like about top lane, like matchups and like how to do lane. Even though he is Diamond 2, maybe he has only played mid lane. So I don't know his background or anything like that. So I'm not gonna say anything more on him.
That's fair. Hey, John died. You would beat the shit out of me top lane. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I don't even know
Again,
about that.
Ooh, Jason.
I'm not gonna lie.
Come back.
I actually might pick BLN honestly at this point
I don't even
too.
think he's done well against the other low-rated tops, honestly.
He hasn't, and
I
that's
don't
the
think he's
thing.
ever done like, yeah.
And then just the last one as well to hit was Banana, which he's on Beware Gaming, and so they're having a hard go of it all. But from my talk with Patstick and then his full team, Patstick is performing well above. I think he dropped an 8-0 Tom Kinch game, and I feel like the rank disparity between those two, Banana should be a winning lane for his team. And that's all for me. That's my top lane. Oh, I will also say if I was on this list, I would put myself 11. I think I performed below my own rank. I'm just gonna be honest.
All right.
That's respect. That's a respectable take.
Fair. I actually put you 15th if you look in the power rankings.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Saw that. That's
Alright.
funny as fuck.
Hey, talk your shit now. So when I put you on a milk carton, they know why I did it.
Okay. All right, Jason, hit me with it.
Okay, full transparency disclaimer. There was like 1,000 games this week. Did not watch even a fraction of them. Very busy week. I try to catch most of the at least in-game screenshots that they were posted. I watched a decent amount, but what's up?
No, keep going.
Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna see how many actual games were played this week.
Okay, and also I've been up since like 5 a.m. Just got done with the best 5 series. Brain's kind of fried, so if I say some wrong things, cook me if you want, but you'll bitch if you do that. Anyways, to my list. No surprise, Owen. Yeah, he might not have the best time, but same old story. But that being said, I think right now the 2 through 4 are how the old 2 through 4 were at the start of the season with DV and Gar, but now it's Evaps and Caterwall took their spot. Assuming I don't know how their team situation. I don't know if they're staying there, but if they are, both of them looking extremely strong. I low key been saying I think Evaps might be one of the most like I don't know. He's just a really strong player, honestly. When I seen him like jungle, he has a really strong jungle performances. Phil, now he's back in the top lane. He's dominating, doing great. Caterwall probably had his best performances on the top lane in that series. Somehow, not even a bad ADC by any means, but still the top lane looked really clean, looked solid. I mean, yeah, it was against a low-rated top, but still. Bronson, I don't think I've seen any games this week, but still really good. He's had some strong performances. DV's been looking a little better. Pat Stick, have we seen him off the Ornn yet? His Ornn's cracked, but you said did he play something else this
He
week?
played Tom Kedge apparently.
It was good. Okay. So he's
an 8-0 Tom Kinch. An 8-0.
Okay.
If I was told correctly.
He's on a bit of a freelo team, but it looks like he's holding it down, so he's looking real solid. Loki, can you move that? Because I'm looking at your stream to see the list, Loki.
Sorry, boss.
You're good. You only got one monitor, gang? What the fuck?
No, I have 2. I just.
Oh, okay.
I'm just.
Nah, it's fair.
I'm pulling up the fucking screenshots.
Guard, Loki been fucking not in, but he ain't been doing too hot in Summit. But I still think he has potential to be up there. I think he's just a little inconsistent. He just played really well in Titan Masters 100 cap league, so he definitely has the talent. It's just a bit inconsistent. And honestly, the whole team, I think our whole team's been kind of underperforming, so it's kind of hard to even pin it on Guard too much. But still falls a lot of strong top. The top lane pool originally looking the weakest is now looking decent with Evaps and Caterwall coming back, potentially decent. Anyways, yeah, X-Ray's been doing real solid. I didn't actually see his own matchup. I guess he sold him. I don't know. I'm sure he still was like 20 times more useless, but still.
Got 2 games.
Performances.
What am I supposed to do?
Hard carry. Anyways, Baratel, I finally caught a series from him. Looks like a weak side warrior. I mean, obviously still like a pretty weak player, but like held his, did his thing up there. Didn't bleed too much. Good. What you want out of a low elo player? Banana, same weak performances I've seen. I don't know. I didn't see his last week. This last week's, but I can only imagine. Isaac, I've watched his performances. I do like the
Banana
Singed.
didn't play.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. He's been looking rough though.
And it
Isaac
didn't
looking
get
rough.
streamed. That's the other thing. One, he got a sub, and it didn't get streamed.
I think right now it's looking like 11 through 14 is that low elo tier, with Baratel on top, and the rest are honestly kind of interchangeable. But Isaac, if he just doesn't int the early game, like the Singe looks fine, honestly, in his Zac. So he at least has more than one pick. John Dye is just, I don't know, pretty interchangeable, 12 through 14, but
Fair.
yeah, just rough performances.
Fair. All right, let's move on to our jungle tier. So starting off, Jason had to sub or replace jungle for his team, but Adoffel should be back for next week, so that's what it says on the top. Adoffel, Asian Jason is equal to Asian Jason. Besides Jason's list, he says his is Adoffel.
Having that low was crazy. I cooked Cookie shit even in a loss, by the way. You did not watch that series. Keep going though.
Okay, okay. Anyways, um, starting off, sprinklers popping off. He's fucking 1v9 half the games, and yeah, we're
Very,
just
very impressive.
we're just kind of there. We're in sprinklers world, honestly.
Good supporting cast. Good supporting cast though.
More honestly, you know, now that I've seen more games of him this week, I think there was 3 games from Wawa
I think it was
Warriors.
4.
4?
Pretty sure it's 4 series. I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, yeah. So, anyways, oh, by the way, there was 26 games played this week, counting today.
I ain't watching, motherfucker. I'm so busy.
So
I ain't getting paid for
what?
that.
What do you? I'm not getting paid, and what do you think I did all day?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but Morn, fucking crazy player, TV, another crazy player, really performing, being a secondary carry on Rookies and Cream, and honestly, sometimes the primary carry. I mean, Arraez just has a really solid team around him, and it's looking good. And then Firestorm, honestly, like he's performing well, but the team, and this might be Flame, but his team is not great. Okay, that's all I'll say on the
That I
topic.
mean that ain't no breaking news, motherfucker. We've
So,
been talking about that shit.
uh,
Everyone knows that.
honestly, to be honest, I think I honestly should put Hootie lower because of how he's performing compared to his like first weeks. Like week 1, 2, like pretty solid performances, but ever since then, like he has kind of been on a downhill slope recently. So, I mean, maybe he can pick it up in this last week and this unscheduled game, but we'll see. Sulpan, you know, he's he wants to reclaim his title as like Jungle King, like 3 seasons ago, where he was just like the best jungler in the league. But unfortunately, there's just too many high level fucking junglers now. Like TV, Morn, and Sprinkler, I think are just so good right now, and yeah, that's really all I got. I think he's playing well though, so good on him. Ryan, honestly, not a terrible performances this week. I think he played 2 games,
I'm
and
playing fine.
he played really well in all of them. I think he went to all 3 games in most of them. So, but he's playing well. PPP solid games. Adolfo, which is Jason. Um, I mean, Jason's playing jungle, and I know he has played in the past, but he kind of looked a little rough. But I'm expecting Adolfo to be back. So,
He did not watch that series.
dude, I'm gonna be honest. There's 26 games. I don't know what you want from me.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying.
Loon is actually gonna be moving because there's like a 4-man swap for 1,000 Year Dynasty. So I have Loon here. I think he played well, but I think he definitely can definitely improve and go higher on the list. Cookies, I think he's kind of like the bottom of the low tier right now. Maybe even second. Maybe Loon's right there as well. But Cookies, Gator, Slop went back down. To be honest, I don't think I'm gonna be moving these 4 anymore, just because I don't think any of them are strong performers or better than any of these top players or anyone above them, basically. So, but yeah, Jason, let's hear it.
Morn, I didn't catch. He played like I think at least 4 series this week. I didn't catch all of them, but the ones I thought 2 or
Let's
3, and he looked really strong in them. I think he had one shaky one. It looked like, but for the most part, he looked really strong. Him and Sprinkler are pretty interchangeable. I just felt, honestly, I went a lot off of feeling this week, so I didn't catch a lot of the game. So like a lot of this is just off the vibes I'm getting. So I got Morn first, Sprinkler probably interchangeable. I think TV's looking solid in third, looking pretty strong. That being said, I think Firestorm's low key catching up how strong his performances are on a terrible team. Hoodie's been looking a little rough. Honestly, him and Sopan were kind of, I had a hard time choosing just off of Sopan only having like one really, honestly, only one good week so far. I couldn't justify that putting over Hoodie, who I think is in a slump. But one more solid performance from Sopan, I think he's easily finding his way above Hoodie. PP's just been looking really solid. He honestly could find himself up above them too. Honestly, he's been having pretty good series. Adolfo has been didn't play last week, and I'm putting him here still because since we should be swapping back. I don't feel like just swapping people back and forth every week, but I think this is probably where he's at the moment. Ryan's been looking pretty solid. He might find himself above in a little bit. I think their team's finally finding their footing, and so it's obviously he's gonna look a lot better now. Because I think he was even playing kind of decent in the losses too for the most part, minus just, like randomly getting caught all the time. Cookies, honestly, I think he's improving as well. Not definitely not enough to put him above anyone above him, but he's definitely improving from the start of the season. Same with Gator, looked really strong last series as a whole. Their team, he looked a bit better. Loon, I'm not gonna lie, I think he played jungle again this week, but I did not catch that series straight up. But I do remember the one series I did watch is when we played that Graves jungle, and I'm not fucking with you. That was the worst thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. So like just off principle, I had to put him down here. Slop, super mid in the series I watched. Now I'm up back down. I mean, you doing good, man. You doing good for a silver. Just
Okay.
look at VLN's list.
Yeah. VLN, you gotta talk me through this list. Like, even if it's the point value, there's some crazy spots here. Okay, so walk me through the big ones.
Okay, so number one, I won't back down, has a series. I'm pulling it up now to fact check myself against OT Gator. Now, I won't back down. I believe is the lowest Elo player in the whole tournament. I believe he was drafted at the highest PV. And in that game, especially in game one,
I'm gonna fact
he
check you
kind
on
of
that one.
fragged. I think he fragged out. Uh, Absolutely bodied in the jungle. His presence and his whole team was winning. I will give credit to OT Gator there, but his scoreline at the end of the game was just stronger. He's on the volley bear, which gave him a lot more mobility. And the biggest thing that made me put him so high and OT Gator so low, because they're kind of in conjunction there, because that's the series this is based off of, is that OT Gator locked in Graves into the volley bear. And that is a champ that if you are good at the game, you are abusing the enemy jungler, you are knocking them out. And I won't back down. Not he didn't back down straight up. Like that's what his name is there for. And on that volley bear first game, absolutely fragged out. And even in the second game, when he was significantly further behind, he played a champion that let him be useful. I think the volley bear was always useful. I mean, you get a stun in the kit that's pretty easy to land. But I think his performance that game, looking at point value specifically, was the highest point value discrepancy between two players. When it gets to Grandmaster and Master, that might be different because I don't know everyone's exact elo. But I think he's like silver something versus a
Silver
diamond
2.
3. Silver 2 versus a diamond 3, and he kind of dropped the ball. I'm giving him the credit for it. I
Wow.
was very impressed for him. Okay. Uh, well, I don't know what his full difference is, but that's got to be at least like
So
30 points
so
different on the.
won't back down is 24 points. Oh, and you're talking Gator? Yeah,
Yeah,
Gator's
an
10
OT game.
points. So it's a 14-point
Yeah,
difference.
14 points.
So another thing though, won't back down is at 24 points. The next closest is 18.
Who's the next closest? Can we get a
Ice,
reveal?
ISO, Sloth, and Baratel all got drafted at 18 points.
Baratel was only 18. God,
Yeah.
that guy's so good at the game. We gotta lock him in.
So
But that's top lane. I've already glazed him. But yeah, it's a huge discrepancy. Uh, and I people are saying he's a silver. Given his credits, like Jason just said it, but I think a bigger thing is he kind of goes crazy for his actual lane. And then real quick, I'm gonna speed through a few others because Jungle was admittedly the list I had the hardest time with. I think Hootie had a very very good series. He got multiple games in this week, and I think he got to play against Morn, and Morn is like a grandmaster player, and kind of was very very useful. I don't think he necessarily won the matchup specifically, but when you're comparing a master to a grandmaster, I think that he kind of performed in a way that I appreciate. And then Firestorm Boxer, you highlighted it. He's not only his only team's win con, he has like unleashed himself to try to play at the best of his ability, and then his team is still kind of losing of the game. And I just had to put him up there because he's doing everything he can and then some. And then again, everyone in the middle very much played at their respective point value. I think they were good. Adolf Kittler for me is the Asian Jason. I think he was pretty solid. I'm not going. He did kind of frag out. That's why I put him above Gourmet Cookies, but he did lose. And then Luton should never touch the jungle role. Whatever captain is letting him play jungle. We don't have a 4-man swap. We'll never put him jungle again. PPP is tied in. because he kind of disrespected Luton in the early game in our game and got punished for it. And then also to tie in that sub as well. That's not just PPP's ranking to have him 14, just for everyone there. The sub
Okay.
did kind of, I don't know, that might be one of the worst players I've ever seen play the game. But that's
Damn.
I'm silver. I'm silver, by the way.
Okay.
I'm silver.
Okay.
So.
Fair.
And then OT Gator and Morn, I already talked about. I think if I were to rank top laners based off performance throughout the whole tournament, my top two are Touch Vigor and Sprinkler. And I think that if you're a GM jungler, i.e. Morn, and you have two Masters players above you, I think you're not performing at what your pick value should be. And that's why he's still.
Damn, calling
Yeah, that's a
Morn
little crazy.
out.
That's a little crazy.
This
That's
is-
crazy, but
Okay.
But that's me. I would love to hear any differences. I mean, I'm just saying if you're approaching that 3 to 0 point pick and you're not solo bodying people 200, 300, or 1,000 LP below you, I don't think you were worth the pick, in my opinion. That's me.
I mean, I'm biased just because Sprinkler's my captain, and I think he's actually playing.
Sprinkler's GM too, by the way.
Yeah, he's GM, and I think Morn is playing well, but I think Azrael's doing a lot of the work. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's all we got for the jungle. Let's move on to our mid lane. Starting off, Gumby, Never Saw, Sai, Array, Nico.
Yeah, you see that?
Not gonna change. Loco, same thing. Frost, same thing. Odysseus. Pretty much the top 9. I mean, me and Jason are kind of on point. We're thinking of pretty much the same exact thing.
It's kind of hard to argue otherwise, for sure.
You look at the top 5. I mean, they're playing excellent. Even though Nico is not winning his games, he's still putting up numbers that are really strong to argue.
Real.
So, Loco, I mean, he's playing well with Sprinkler. He's making good plays with him and doing well. Frost, I mean, playing out of his mind. Odysseus had a rough week, but I don't think he'll go up just because if Frost keeps playing like he is, I think he's just going to continue being this menace in the mid lane, top lane, wherever the fuck he's going to play. He's just going to be a menace. And then Hamea, nothing too crazy. And then this is kind of where me and Jason are different. Naki, I think, I actually didn't get to see him a whole lot. But honestly, I should probably switch it. Me and Jason should probably just have the same list because... Oh, besides the.
Don't look at my 2 through 4.
Yeah.
Don't look at my 2 through 4.
Yeah, 2 through 4, little difference, but honestly, I MHC the Hui was really good. So if I would had to change my list, I'd probably just swap that and I'd call it good. But on another note, Black Knight, the replacement for Doki. Played really well this week into Nico, and he actually solo killed Nico once, which was fucking nuts. And so, that's really all I got. I think Flash, solid games. I mean, he's on Seraphine duty, so I mean, it's really hard to fuck that up. But and then World Soup, I mean, not really the strongest week for him. I mean, we've said it in previous things, I think the bottom 4, 5, you can honestly just interchange and move around on a week to week basis. So
for sure.
Not much there. But yeah, Jason, send it over to you.
All right, hear me out, chat. Hear me out. Look, Gumby Power looked pretty solid against Sai. Sai looked solid against Gumby Power, but let me just tell you this. Now, is this a little crazy? Maybe a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I'm not gonna lie. If you look purely off of results. And don't look at the enemy mid laners they're playing against. Array's having a lot of pop-off performances.
Okay.
Now, is this maybe a little copium to try to ease Array's schizo posting a little bit? Maybe, but I do think it could be justifiable legitimately because, I mean, he really, if you just look at his KDs the last 3-4 weeks, they're out of control. Now again, don't look at who the mid laners are, but still, nevertheless, extremely strong performances, strong carry. No disrespect, Never Saw Sai. Obviously, they know they're great players.
I get it. I understand it.
Right, if you really just look at the performances, he's having some pop off games every week. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, Nico fine, Loco doing well for his team. Frost, he played pretty well against Odysseus. I think he's really strong. Low ishy, low pick. Odysseus, bit of a slump, but I think the whole team is like that. So you'll find a lot of our players dropping a little bit. Haumea, he's on the up and up. I didn't watch all series this week. I think they played a couple, so he might maybe find his way up there. He definitely has the potential to go up to at least 6 for sure. But just as I didn't see too much yet, that's why I have him. My hot looked good neutralizer against Gumby, which is why I got him like at the highest of the low tier, which obviously, like we said, is 10 through 14. And really not too much to say about 11 through 14. All fairly interchangeable. Black Knights first series in looked decent on the Ori. Looks like Ori main or one trick or some shit. Did fine until blind against Nico, but still pretty like he's like a silver replacement. So like about what you'd expect, nothing too crazy. He'll probably fluctuate in like that lower tier, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll kind of see like what he can do in the next couple of weeks because I think he's got to play.
Yeah.
Like I think he's rookies in Cream. I think that's in his schedule and one other.
That's
team.
crazy.
So I don't think Allen will make playoffs, but I mean if they're able to do it, I think they're in contention, but I think they basically have to win out, and I think there's like someone has to lose basically. So
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. VLN, let's hear it.
Okay, real quick. The only player at 0 point value that I would say is playing at the level they should be to be ranked number 1 is Gumby Power. That man, or I guess I should say that person, is a monster.
He's a guy.
Just had to make sure.
Respect. PC.
And I have to put that immediately with Psy because Psy
I'm about to cut my
played into that,
toenails.
and that's crazy, bro. Can we run that back? No, but Psy played into that and played like a monster. I can't put in good conscious Psy over Gumby though. When you also factor in every other game that Gumby has just absolutely blitzed through, I really do think Gumby is the only 0 point performing pick. But Psy is a monster. I would pick Psy or Gumby for my mid laner if I ever got the chance to again. They are freaks, and they have a crazy series against each other that was so enthralling. I watched it in full, and I had to put them 1 and 2. That's all the glaze I can give them. And then it goes to Haumea, who, man, seeing Haumea at y'all's 9 is crazy to me. I think Haumea.
Everyone else is playing good. I don't know what you want from me.
I agree, but like when you look at this game,
I probably could have moved him up. I didn't watch a lot of the series.
I'll hold Jason to that. Next week, someone ping me if Jason doesn't move up Haumea.
Okay.
He locked in against Neversaw, and I think he performed. I think he did very, very well, not only at stalling Neversaw from getting out of hand, but then also punishing Neversaw on roams or outside of lanes or dodging skill shots and dropping emojis when he did it. I think he was a freak this week in that series, which then if you couple, again, everyone in the middle played at their point value. Even Array dropped a 12-0 game, like Jason said, but he was against this silver mid laner, right? So you kind of expect that from him. That's why he's so low, even though he did so good. And then you look at Neversaw, who I have at 13. And let me say openly, I have no problems with Neversaw as a person. I think they're incredibly, incredibly talented. I don't have any beef with them for real. But in this series specifically, their team allots a lot of resources to mid lane for mid lane to be as volatile as it is. And I think that GM versus Diamond, you got to be sending Haumea to the gray screen every 35 seconds. The only other match that was kind of worse than that, in my opinion, was the Nico match, which was against Vosler. And that is another huge discrepancy in the mid lane, if I'm not mistaken. And
that was versus Black Knight.
Or Black Knight, yes. And Black Knight just being substituted in, excuse me, that is wrong on me. Just being substituted in way below the elo of Nico. Getting that solo kill, as you brought up, it's like GM level pick. Somehow the coughing baby beat the nuclear bomb, and I think you've got to adjust for that on your PV.
Okay.
And then that's the same thing for Odysseus. I think Odysseus played against Loco Poco. I'm trying to put together through the notes that I did.
Odysseus played against
This last week, Frost.
Yeah, Frost.
Oh, Frost. Yes. I'm sorry, guys. I'm shivering outside trying to get through it so I can go back into the warmth.
Yeah.
But the matchups this week where it's like I feel with my kind of power ranking, the idea behind PV to performance is if you should have a pretty significant lead and then you look at the actual matchup and you don't, I'm putting you lower. And that's where all four of these or the three at the bottom come from.
Okay.
Everyone else, great. I support mid laners. I
I
stand with
support mid laners. I want a shirt that says I support mid laners. But yeah, that's our mid lane tier list. Moving on to our ADC. Starting off, Azrael. Finally, that we have some more information on this guy. This guy is nasty, and you know he's popping off like every game. Like it is not even close, bro.
He's fucking insane.
He picks Ash and then proceeds to go like 17-1 or something like that. I don't even remember every single game, but I know he had like sub 4 deaths, I think, in every single game I watched this week. Granted, he played in 3 series this week, so there was a lot of information coming
4.
up. No, it's just 3. Just 3. I counted it.
Well, they literally just got done with the series.
Yeah, that's 3.
I think so. There's.
We're at week
so.
5. We're talking about week 5, Jason.
Yes, and they played week 3, week 4, and they're unscheduled this week.
No, they didn't play their unscheduled.
Yes, they did.
Am I trolling?
Yeah, you're bugging out, bro. That was the whole narrative. They did 4 fucking series in a week.
Wait.
He's tweaking live, bro.
Oh my god, wait, they did play 4. Sorry, I was looking at Blue Side. They were Blue Side.
Yo, Alex
games.
in the chat. Alex in the chat.
Yo, guys. 26 games, guys. 26 games. I'm going crazy. 20 League of Legends.
Fair.
So, but yeah, Azrael, I mean, nuts. Crazy player. This guy is number 1. Number 2, I'm putting Thim. And it's
fair.
Respect to anyone below him. I think, honestly, just Thim is just playing some of the best League of Legends he's played in the last couple seasons he's played in total. Maybe that's just because, Sprinkler is just camping his ass and not coming top lane, because who comes top lane? But honestly, I think Thim is playing really well. Fridge is facilitating him and making him, honestly, be able to do a lot of these plays, so big props to him. And then Big Dummy, like I said, that 4-man swap. Big Dummy going to the ADC role. Had a couple of he had a rough game 3, and the first time they pulled it off. But the last series that they did play it all the way through, he was ADC and he played fairly well. So giving respect to what he's due, and he's an ex-challenger player, and if he's able to go into front from this support role and just be like, hey yo, let me carry now, and proceed to do it, gotta give respect to the G. So yep. And then I got Goblin. I mean, he finally got his first win this week. Actually, first 2 wins, because he just won today. And I mean, he's doing good. I mean, he's playing a different style than I'm normally used to, but he's playing those APC champions. He's playing Zyra, Ziggs, and the Seraphine, which is very surprising, because I actually thought he was going to be playing ADC, but maybe he's just getting used to the meta. But he's playing well, and so respect. This is where I want to put him the whole season if he was playing well. So honestly, maybe even higher, but we know. Who knows? Brickenus apparently was subbed out, but I still think this guy's goated. I think he's playing well. Pyrosis, I mean he's playing well into the lanes he has, but he's still struggling to find wins with his team. So Sporadic, unfortunately, this is the last week we'll be seeing Sporadic. He has left the
rip.
But
F in the chat.
F in the chat.
It's in the chat.
But yeah, I hope he has a good rest of the season. Hopefully he'll come back next season. But I honestly think he played really well in his last couple series that he was in. So hopefully he can come back and pop off. And then Strand, still being being a budget ADC, playing Caitlyn, the Ziggs, whatever, and doing well. Affection, I honestly want to put him higher, but I know Jason would yell at me. So
Real. Good list. Good list.
so
He would be number one. I won't.
in my opinion, I actually think people are kind of underrating Affection a little bit. I actually think he's a lot better than some people say, aka Jason. But I listen to the boss. Okay.
I used to be on the Affection hype train, just so we're clear. But after watching some of the games, I'm like, okay, he's actually just like a gold ADC.
Okay.
Still solid, but
last season last week I did say I would try to make a accurate list, and I'm not just trolling.
this
Okay.
unironically, this single ADC list, obviously not counting 14, is easily, I think, the single best list you've ever done.
Okay.
By far, just so we're on the same page.
My 14, I do have a reason for.
Yeah, I got you.
So Sauce, Vossler, Vossler's playing APCs like Seraphine Duty again, and then Bird Person Uhuzi, pretty much the same thing as we've said for the last 6 weeks or however long we've been doing this. And then Jason is last just because he had a sub. They had a sub. I didn't want to put the sub, and I already ranked him in the jungle list, so that's pretty much it. So
I just want to say, X-Ray, for the record, this would be the most accurate ADC list, even if that was a real placement of Asian Jason.
Okay.
I just want to...
real.
Yo. You said right there. You can't do him like that. Now, honestly, if I was to rank Jason, I'd either put him either right below Goblin or right above. Probably above. Put him at 4.
That's pretty. Honestly, that's pretty fair. It's very fair.
So,
and again, that's super accurate. It's good.
So that's all I got. And then we're gonna send it to VLN, and then Jason will wrap up his list.
Okay, this one's kind of a cop-out list. I'm gonna say openly because my bottom 2 are also for the substitutes. Kind of felt wrong to base them PV off performance, so okay. I don't have the 3 and 3. Azrael is just a machine. I mean, that player cannot be stopped, even when put against other good bot lane duos. I mean, they even got to play against Big Dummy as ADC and just one game fragged out. Just absolutely crazy. I do think that they are hands down the best ADC, bar none, which, results-based analysis, I don't think anyone's faulting me for that one. But the real star of the show for me is Goblin. Goblin's Ziggs game was just phenomenal. I don't know if that player, because I am new, has always played APC picks. It sounds like that's new for him.
He's turned to the dark side. He's turned to the dark side.
This is new. He is normally like a COG Jinx Twitch player. Like that's his. Like,
he does play pretty he does play some off meta shit though, like Nyla too.
Yeah, he plays like he's a traditional like attack damage carry player. He's never really played ability power carries in the bot lane, but this season, just because I think of like how the meta is evolving, it's like he's like, okay, they're broken, so I gotta play them, and so I mean that's what he's doing.
And if his team is final boss, he is the final boss of that team. He really did put the other 4 in his backpack, and I mean, it was phenomenal to like actually get to see them pop off, especially when they were put against the Gauntlet, which people were putting in the top 3 teams at the time. And so they were a complete underdog story. That Cinderella story wraps up because of Goblin. And then Thim is just him. I have not watched a game. I haven't watched every game in the tournament. But every game I have watched Thim play, he is putting people in like a 2004 Call of Duty montage. It is just frag after flag after flag. Genuine.
Is it because he's playing Caitlyn all the time?
Caitlyn and the
Caitlyn
Corki,
abuser. Caitlyn abuser. Low-key abuser in ADC meta.
Hey, sometimes you gotta hate people because they win, Jason. I get it. You're on a loss streak right now. I am too. Publicly, I am too. But you can't hate them because you ain't them.
Hey, I've always been a fan. I've always rooted for Timmy. Just so we're clear.
I support it. I do. I also want to jump in. Just the only one at the bottom I want to talk about is Big Dummy 69. Y'all cannot glaze his ADC after that Xayah game that he played. Like I
didn't watch it.
The VLN Dean team up is gonna be devious this upcoming, or I guess tomorrow. So don't get me wrong, we're gonna do shit they haven't seen before. But that Zaya game alone just dropped him for me. And y'all have him as like, y'all look at him like the second
Bro,
coming of Guma.
I don't know what it is, but he's like anti-glaze his team. He puts his team like below.
Wait, these are your
everyone.
teammates?
Yeah,
What the
this is
fuck?
his teammates.
Yeah, they are. They all are.
That's hella funny. I
Dude.
love it. You're the opposite of X-Ray. That's the balance we needed.
Dude.
Boy. I love it.
Dude, wait, let's just have this
That's
us
funny as
three.
fuck.
So I'll be the glaze, he'll be the anti-glaze, and Jason will just be
Actually-
in the middle.
The actual list.
The actual
well,
list.
People will only listen to his segment. I do think Big Dummy is a good player, especially in support, and does do well. I mean, his Twitch against Azrael was a very competitive showing. I just couldn't, relative to pick value, put him as
He
high.
was 0 points, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is 0. He is 0 points. And he said he's a GM level ADC, and he was against the GM, but he's just too volatile for me. That's my ADC.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay. All right, Jason.
That's
let's
funny.
hear it.
All right, let's see. Just going through this, Astro. I mean, by far, I think I've always put him at number one, even when he wasn't playing, and I think he just proved it this week. Probably the most consistent, dominating performances we've seen. Big Dummy, a bit of a respect pick, but I still think, like, realistically, he probably still is like at least a Masters ADC. I almost put me and him above him. I just didn't see all of his games this week, so I'm sure him being fourth is probably wouldn't be crazy, but I kind of respect second. I actually would love to hear his thoughts, him or Astro's thoughts on playing against each other, them being like just great players. Them great. Honestly, I probably should have put them above me. I didn't play last week, and he's still been doing pretty consistent. He's been playing really well. Gob finding a lot of success on these APCs. I think the top five right now is rounding out to be like the high tier. Iris is still a psycho, but he just does a lot in ADC. He's probably doing like, obviously it doesn't always work. It's a bit int half the time, and I don't know if it even is necessarily worth or good, but I'm still like a highly mechanical player, and fairly smart when he doesn't int. Pickerness, another strong, solid ADC, kind of like the sporadic, Rip sporadic. I thought he was a really good, just consistent, what you would want out of a weak side lane. And then we get to the low tier. Honestly, not much has changed. I think Strand's still the best low tier. Solid performance against us, just decent. Probably the most consistent. We saw a couple iffy matches, but as far as the low tiers go, probably the most consistent. But per Sauce Legend, honestly, in my head, they're like the same person. I actually can't tell you the difference between the two of them. I'm sure there is a lot of them. I'm pretty sure they both just like spam Caitlyn, and like are just perma weak side and like do decent most of the time. Bossler switched over. I think he played ABCs both games. Honestly, even in the pretty dominating team wins, looked pretty fucking worthless on them. So no respect to my boy Beer Ball, but looking a little sus, I ain't gonna lie. And then Yahoozy, I don't even know if he played this week, but yeah, I mean
He
that
did.
shit. I mean,
He did.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure nothing's changing. So good
Yeah.
luck, my boy. Go back top lane.
I mean, the other thing is like Vossler is just gonna be on like Seraphine duty, so it's like it's hard.
He
to
played
fuck-
like he played Ziggs one of the games. I'm pretty sure he did like least damage on Ziggs APC,
Yeah,
which is like
so it's
insane.
he's not gonna do much in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
he's just gonna be a
Team still
you
looked
know,
really
this
good though.
weak side sort of player. But yeah, let's move on to our support list. Starting off, got Spearman. Honestly, I think Spearman's honestly kind of playing well, and you know,
You glaze him tough, by the way. I don't know what you got,
Dude,
what background
I'm
you got
gonna
with
be
this dude,
honest.
but you be glazing him.
Who? Oh, that's Wait, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of forgot what team he was on. He was
He's on McMammal's,
Oh, okay.
on Nico's team.
Okay, hang on. I fucked up this list.
Huh?
I meant to switch Lightsphere and Spirit Man.
Oh my god.
Hang on.
Now that would actually be a pretty legit list.
Hang on.
I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Overall, though, I will say this is also a pretty good list, all things considered.
So, Lightsphere, number one. I think he's honestly, from the start of the season, he was not great, but with his last couple weeks, he has been, performing well. So give props towards Stu and Sifra. Honestly, once again, not a whole lot of data, but now that I have the data, I honestly think Sifra's second overall right now in the support tier.
They're pretty good.
I think they've been playing super well. I mean, granted, it might be because of how they're performing with Azrael, but I've seen a lot of these plays, and honestly, I just want to shout out to Sifra. The Tom Kench game, I thought was crazy. Bro is literally saving Azrael in a lot of these fights, and I think that was actually like the Jinx game where he went 17-1. And I think the only reason he went 17-1 is because Sifra was right behind him, and just fucking like Sifra fucking or not Azrael was like about to die. Sifra was like, "Yum, I'm gonna eat you, run away, spit you out. All right, you do more damage. Okay, we win." And so,
Pretty sure their Lulu's fucking goated. I think if you look
Yeah.
at all their KDA, if you bunch up all their Lulu KDAs, I'm pretty sure it's like fucking ridiculous.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me because that's another pick that they've been performing well on, and Braum is the other one that I've seen. And then Pony, I think Pony's just playing fantastic, really high level. Granted, he is a diamond player, but I think they're still playing well above their multitude. Spirit Man, I think honestly, still rough. McMamo's looking at what I would they were looking good, but now they're kind of back in this like slum. I would say. I definitely think Pyrosis is a good duo with him, and then BBQ Leona. I think honestly, like I said, I think like top 6 honestly like every week is just gonna change, just because of how like chaotic support is, in my opinion. So, like I said, I have a hard time doing this list because of how inconsistent and me not knowing the role enough. So that's
Pretty good list, all things considered, though.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
your best
think-
sport list so far.
And I got Tubby. I think Tubby is playing super well, and if Tubby could play like he does in Titan,
Actually, though,
Dude,
he's
Tubby
easy
is
top
top-
3 in this league.
Toby's number. I was gonna
Yeah.
say number 1 because I mean,
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, maybe.
if
Maybe.
Big Dummy's
Yeah.
got the role,
Yeah.
Tubby was
I'll buy
looking
it.
clean. Okay,
I'll buy it,
when
yeah.
he stole your blue buff, that was crazy.
Fucking rat. Fucking rat. I mean, I'm like sitting there micromanaging his ass, but still, he's doing what he got to do.
But yeah,
His
I have
fucking Renata W's are still dog shit. Okay, it's my
Um,
bad.
Nope, you're good. And I got Enderfridge for probably biased, but I honestly think Enderfridge has actually been playing pretty consistently with them, and
He's solid. He's solid.
so that's kind of where I'm sitting at. Gamer D, playing solid with Offension, weak side team, but still making plays around the map. The Morgana was crazy. Shout out to the Morgana Gamer D. Alturas, honestly, scaling with Rob. They figured it out. APCs and Thresh. They've been playing spam and Thresh, so playing really well. Lantern's crazy. Ryan able to help him. Brissy, like I said, kind of in this slump, as Jason said. So hopefully they'll get over it this next week. And then KipKat. I mean, nothing really much to say. Sloth and then VLN. So VLN, the Malphite was not it. Okay.
He has some good ults on the mid though. If it's a Malphite game I remember watching.
There were a couple good ones, okay, but it wasn't.
He has some
it.
good ults. It was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty ant overall, but there were definitely some good ults.
Like, I'll talk about it. I'll get there. But
All
yeah,
right,
I did.
all right, Villain. Let's hear it then.
Okay, I'll start at the bottom. Okay, just real quick, I'll start at the bottom. I think that me personally, I did play like a hot pack of ass, straight up. But you have to remember, I was not in that game knowing that I was going support Malphite until our 5th pick. And then it kind of got thrown onto me. I had never played support Malphite ever.
It's not even a
And-
thing. It's horrible. They set you up for failure.
Yeah,
To be fair.
my dad, Big Dummy 69, said, VLN, your job this game is to ult never saw. And so if you watch me that game, all I ever try to do is ult the never saw.
And you
And-
unironically had some really good looks on her. Like I think at least like 3 or 4 like really good looks.
And if you
Not
watch
gonna
the
lie.
game, not to toot my own horn a little bit, but if you watch the game, that was me. I was a toddler in a playpen. So those looks were me looking for them. There are also a lot that I just ult in and die.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
That's the trade. That's the trade. I think that Lightsphere as a player is much more high rated than I think that their performance is indicating. I did put the most time into thinking about the support tier list because I think that those picks affect the game, I don't know, more than anything else. And I think that when you're looking at a pick that is so much higher than their opponent, excuse me, I'm pulling it up live, that this is a 0 to 3 point pick as well, or 2 to 1. 1 to 3. Excuse me, I'm messing that up. They're not performing at the level they have, especially if you look at the other games. And then the other lowest level for me is Ilya, and that's less about the laning phase. I do think that Ilya versus Gamer D in the lane played much better. But Gamer D outside of lane, especially with the Morgana pick, that I think the casters, I remember them saying something about, was able to use the Morgana for a lot of lockdown. And maybe that's just silver cope, but I think that the Morgana pick outside of lane almost shut down the Power of Friendship's full dive in just with the binding that they can provide. And so I had to put Ilya down because Gamer D just thrashed, in my opinion. Personally, again, I'm silver. Don't hate me too much. Don't hate me.
I can kind of see that, but I think because you can only hit one person with the binding, right? Because it's still like a 6-second cooldown.
I'll also say publicly, I'm trying to get Gamer D to make me a mod and give me $1 million summit bucks. So I got to put all his opponents really low.
Okay. I see what's going on
That's
now.
funny.
And then the top three, this tournament, pick value to performance, Ponegeffo is the best support, bar none. I mean, the way that this player is unlocking the rest of her team around the map and interfacing with Array, with Touch Vigor, even with Pat Stick, while also boosting her ADC, which I love Pickerness, but he is not among the highest ranks. I think that Ponegeffo is like a plus 1,000 LP buff to everyone on her team, straight up.
This Glaze is
in a way-
insane.
I mean, watch it. Like, especially the Bard picks. Like,
I thought my Glaze was
Ponegeffo-
bad.
Yeah.
She is
Glaze is
great.
crazy.
Okay, you guys hate her because she's a woman. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I gotta say about that.
I unironically don't know the gender of any of these fucking players. I don't know any of them.
Like how are we supposed to know this?
I only know Tubby. Tubby's, you know.
I can't retract my statement now. I've already said it. It's live in the document. We're gonna move on. And then Sloth is a monster relative to point value as well. And keep in mind, please, I have to say that over and over again because I know they're skipping.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they
true,
are.
real.
Yeah, I'm calling you out, support players, if you just skipped here and you're looking at me like I'm the crazy one. But Sloth was a monster. I specifically want to call out the level 1 hook as well. Like, you can only get so much out of the World Soup Center bot lane. I think they're among the lowest elo bot lanes in the whole tournament.
Mhm.
And I think that she does everything in her power to not only stabilize the lane where she can with Bird Person, but then also be at objectives. And while that performance isn't, at the same level that you see Big Dummy or Ponegeffo, she is doing the same steps at a rate much higher than I think her rank would suggest. And then we go into Spirit Man, and I think X-Ray glazed them well enough. I do think, if I remember correctly, I think Spirit Man was an absolute monster in the 8 to 10 point range. And hold on, I'm fact checking myself live so I don't get even more hate. I have my
Don't
notes
worry,
pulled up.
you already did that yourself.
Yeah, you already got like 6 comments. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna happen, but that's the player that played into Lightsphere, and when you look at 2 to 3 point pick versus a 8 to 10 point pick, I think Spirit Man did way more for their team than the Lightsphere did, and so not only do I think they're playing better that game, there also is a huge discrepancy in that pick value that puts Spirit Man way higher for me, and I think that.
Okay.
Spirit Man is also among the best supports in the tournament, relative PV to performance across all the games as well. I do like to see them interface with Pyrosis. That's me for support. Huge.
Okay. All right, Jason, hit me with it.
Honestly, I know I say this most weeks, but support this week, honestly, I wouldn't even pay too much attention for it. Especially not only did I not watch all the games I did watch, support was probably like the least I pay attention because I just don't think a lot of these supports do too much where that's like, oh whoa, look what they're doing. I think Lightspear's been playing a lot better. I gave went a lot of tangents on my own streams before about how like just because a GM player is playing at like a D1 level, it's way lower than what they should be playing at. D1 is still higher than like this plat player that's playing at an emerald level. You know what I mean? Like so in via lens list, that plat player would be number 1 and Lightspear would be number 10. But in the real life list, how we actually do things, Lightspear is still number 1, even if he's playing at whatever level he's playing at.
He's delivered.
Anyways, I think he's been playing, but he has been playing better. Definitely still not at GM level, but still probably better than the rest of these players. Big Dummy, he's not here, so I don't know if you guys are going back. Potegafo is looking really solid. Still haven't really like watched intensely on her or whatever's fucking games, but looks solid. Barbecue still putting on for his team. Ilya, honestly, even through the loss, looked decent. I think that I know there's some strong performances in the past. Probably could change a lot of these up, honestly, if I really watched all the games, but this week was kind of a wash. Spirit Man, he's been playing better. Sifra, honestly, probably should have moved them higher. The motherfucker just went like 0-0-17 on Lulu. Like I'm telling you, I'm telling you, can someone please go back and look at add up all their Lulu KDAs? It's got to be like fucking 100 KDA or some shit. Like this player probably should have moved up. Tubby doing his thing. Honestly, I want to glaze him for how he just played in Titan, but I still ain't seen nothing crazy in Summit. He's definitely playing better. Honestly, Gamer D could have maybe moved up. He's like probably the one support that I actually like, kind of paid attention to this week, and he honestly had a pretty good showing, all things considered. I love the Morg pick. For whatever game one he played in that series where he played Mord, also looked really strong. He definitely looked like he bounced back after like a very disappointing performance the prior series. I think also that happened this week. But whatever series he won this week, he looked really strong. Alter is also looking stronger. So didn't see anything crazy. Still doesn't make up for all the horrible performances in the past, but definitely on an uptrend, huge uptrend. I do agree, Ender Fridge. I think he's definitely pretty consistent. Like obviously still low elo, fairly low impact for his team, but pretty consistent all things considered. Brissy, just a bit of a slump. Honestly, probably could blame me. I was in AC with him this week, and if you honestly just listen to our comms, we're kind of just like not really taking shit seriously for whatever reason. Not to make an excuse, we're definitely playing like shit. But it's definitely Brissy's definitely getting on the shafted end of all that. Obviously playing support with the rest of his team, like fucking around. Sloth, I don't know. I can't remember the full game I last seen from them. It's a few bits I do tune in and out. They do fine. KibCat, Rip my boy, VLN, honestly. Again, I already said about the Malphite ults. Some are fucking honestly pretty lit, but overall pretty in performance. What are you gonna do? You know, you fucking roll swab, you get put on Malphite. It's like actually a fucking worthless shit. You literally can't fucking play with that champ. They definitely set you up for failure. I don't assume you're gonna stay in support role, but honestly, if you did, I honestly, you definitely have room to like move up in here. But I don't know what you guys plan on doing.
I'm gonna lock the Malphite again in the support role.
You know,
But yeah, that's what I got.
where we can type FF in chat. But yeah.
Well,
Sorry, you got something, VLN?
I was just gonna say when the Malphite beats you, you will type FF in chat.
Okay,
But, you know,
okay.
we can go to the other
Do you guys
part.
play? Do you guys play next week? Is that what's happening?
No, we don't play unless we both make playoffs.
Oh.
Which
Yeah.
1,000-year dynasty might end sooner than 1,000 years.
Yeah. So, but let's move on to the team power rankings. So starting off, sprinklers tinklers. I mean, it's pretty obvious why we're number one, but number two, Wall Warriors. I do want to talk about them real quick because they actually just lost to Final Boss. So honestly, if I had to remake this, I would actually probably put Rookies and Cream 2. I originally had Rookies and Cream at number 2, but then I realized, okay, hang on, Wall Warriors, you know, they're kind of on a hot streak. Even Rookies and Cream are also on a hot streak, but Wall Warriors have been looking pretty solid recently, so I'm gonna show some respect. But since they just lost to Final Boss, I'm actually gonna redo it. Rookies and Cream number 2, Wall Warriors, and all three of these teams are actually locked for playoffs. So congrats to all three of those teams. And then all the teams that are basically still in the hunt. I mean, you got the Gauntlets. I mean, solid team. Never saw playing strong Cena. They're bringing in Woojin at the ADC role, so I'm excited to see him come back. Power of Friendship, you know, Psy playing really well. And then I have Elucifers. I probably should honestly put Elucifers probably above Power of Friendship, maybe. But, I mean, Power of Friendship is finding more success, I would say, versus Elo Surfers. I mean, Gumby is playing crazy. Soulpan. I mean, you have the solid weak side bot lane, so pretty much all that. Summon admins, they're kind of on the up and up right now. I might be coping with this number 7 pick, looking at everyone else's list. Maybe I'm right and they're wrong, but I don't know. I think they're actually on the up and up. I mean, they're third now in our in the group, so I think they're gonna play super well in the next coming.
Were you talking about
years.
Summon Edmonds?
Yeah,
Is this my list? I'm pretty sure I put them way higher in my list, unless I fucked it up.
I
I don't know.
think.
I definitely did this list while I was playing my series.
Oh yeah, yeah. I pretty. That's
But I
right.
swear I put them higher.
Did you? Did I misread?
I don't know. Maybe
No.
I fucked it up. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I did
you
put them
did.
higher.
You did. Well, how? Okay, then I fucked up somehow. What did I do? Oh, I put Eulster
X-Ray
first.
always trying to make me look bad.
It's okay. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I make at least one mistake every week on power
It's
rankings
fair.
because I have to look
Happens,
at
happens.
fucking. I look at the
There's
old
got to be a
one.
better system than this, by the way, than you mainly doing this shit every week. There 100% is a much
I
easier way
mean,
to do this.
there definitely is, but I'll figure it out next season. I'm kind of committed at this point.
That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
but
Respect,
anyways,
respect.
GFC. I mean, kind of in the slump. I still think they'll squeak into playoffs right at the fourth seed. Just looking at like the rest of the schedules and like what the probability is for each team to actually make it to playoffs. So we'll kind of see how that goes. 1,000 Year, if they go with the 4-man swap, I think it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. So I have them at ninth. They only have one game left, and so I think their max they can get is like 10 or something like that. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I don't know how many points you guys can get. Let's see.
Our max is 12.
12? Don't you
We're
have?
currently at 9. So if we 3-0,
Oh, you guys are at 9. Oh shit.
yeah.
Hang on, live changing my spreadsheet, guys.
Unless Pyrosis is wrong, but I trust him over me.
I mean, I can definitely go back and counter myself, but let's see. 1,000 is okay. Yeah, you guys are at 9. So, okay. I mean, yeah, you guys can make it, I think, but you basically need someone who is lower than you to like lose, like one of these 8 pointers to definitely lose at least one series. So we'll kind of see. And then where am I at? Oh, 1,000 Year World Soup. Listen, it pains me to say this, but Owen is 1v9 like every game, and when you cannot, so when you pick Swain, right, and then you're the only one with the lead, and then 3 people on the enemy team build heal cut, it feels bad, man, because it's like you're the only person doing anything on the team, and then your Lee Sin is flashing like every time he has it, just to try to hit an insect and then proceed to die after that. So I don't know, but they're here. I don't think they'll make playoffs at this point. I mean, it's going to be pretty rough. I think they're still in it, but I don't think it's very likely. And then Final Boss, I moved them up. I honestly think they're scaling. I think they're gonna pop off. And then Ellen the Chipmunks beat McMammals this week, so McMammals jumping down to that 13th spot, and then Beware. We all know what's going on there. So, and then let's send it over to VLN, and then Jason will wrap us up.
So I will also start with the live edit. If Wawa Warriors just went, or if they just lost to Final Boss, I would put them lower than Sprinklers Tinklers. But Rookies and Cream, hands down, undisputed number 1. I really do think it's not even close. But I think that they have some of the best players in all 5 roles. And then Sprinklers Tinklers, you could almost say the same about, but they have X-Ray top lane, so it's like there's a chance. But the Wawa Warriors, I think, is also kind of recency bias, seeing them play it out. They have put on a phenomenal show this week in a lot of convincing games. So I feel like they have to be up there. I think we all kind of agree on that. Yeah, we get the live edit, actually.
I'm listen, live edits, guys. Here we go.
And then 1,000 Year Dynasty, it's not biased at all. I think we're the 4th best team in the whole
bias.
Even if we only lost a game when I wasn't there. Coincidence? Or wait, no, we didn't. Not like a series. We have lost series when we were there, but like we OD'd without me. I do think the Gauntlet is better than us if they start allocating resources top lane. Doesn't have to be a full swap, but I think Bronzina needs more from the team, and that team could wholeheartedly stop us. But for now, as long as they don't do that, I put us up there. Live glazing session here. GFC, I would bet on them if and only if Asian Jason rallies his boys. I love watching the games when I can get the comms. I think not only are you a good player, but when you are the vibes restorer for your team, y'all
True.
play a lot better. And I
Listen to my
think you
Titan
and that,
comms today, low key.
yeah, I mean, I think that you're a good player. That's all. I can't glaze you live. That feels a bit
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, my
yeah,
boy. I
but
appreciate you.
Get him.
I do
Stay
think
humble.
that
Stay
that team
humble.
I feel you though.
I
I feel
think
you.
that team's really good. And then Summon admins are on the up and up, especially Awante putting up insane levels of performance. Power of Friendship is a team that I need to do more research into, especially because we play them tomorrow. I didn't think they looked that strong, but I am seeing your guys' placement of them, and now I'm a little worried.
I honestly I don't know.
Dude, I mean, you guys can definitely beat them, but the thing is like, it honestly depends on who's going to be top lane and who's. I mean, I think no matter what, Flash is going to be mid, but who's ever going to be top lane kind of decides. I think how that game will kind of like progress. I should say.
That's good to know. Power of Friendship, if you lose tomorrow after this comes out, blame X-Ray. If you win tomorrow, blame me because that probably meant that I was top lane.
But you guys play
Uh,
tomorrow?
Yeah, 9:30 EST. We play our
Oh
final
shit.
game.
I might stream it. Are you
Um,
playing it? Are you playing personally in it?
yes, I will be playing
Oh,
on
yeah.
this stuff setup. I'll be playing
Yeah, I was about to
outside.
say.
So you know.
Outside? Oh,
Yeah,
yo.
That's funny as fuck.
so
Wait,
I
did I
have
pick
my
1,000
excuse
year this
reloaded.
week? Hang on, I gotta check my prediction. Keep going.
I just, people sleep on
Oh,
the PLN.
shit.
No, you don't gotta change it. They sleep on me, but I am a vibes. I'm like top lane, low elo Asian Jason. That's what I say. And then my final five
Huh.
Worlds 2 Beware, I believe are teams that are mathematically locked out of making playoffs in their respective pools.
Beware is. I think Beware
No.
is the only one.
Beware is the only one. Everyone else has, like, everyone.
Very, very
Yeah,
slim.
slim. Like,
But I
there's a
think
lot
it's-
of conditions that need to be made in order for them to make it.
Well, in
So-
that case, I'm bad at math, so those are just ranked in order that I think they would beat each other, higher being stronger. But I thought that they were just locked out, so I put them down. I think Beware is locked out for sure.
Yes.
I think there are
they're locked out.
I think they're strong teams, but if you can't make playoffs, what are you? That's all I gotta
Okay.
say.
Real.
Fair. All right, Jason. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. My team list is like not. I didn't get too much time to put too much thought into it. I literally did this like while I was mid-series,
Dude, it
fucking
was
whooping
actually
ass in
so
Titan.
funny.
Yeah,
It was
the
so
X-Ray saw me
funny.
updating it live, and he's like, "Aren't you in game right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, look, chill." But that being said, Rick's Cream just looked very, very great. All lanes look good. Incredible mid jungle duo, and their supplementary players. I'm off camp. Their supplementary players look strong. Sprinkler Stinkler also look really strong. I think Sprinkler really brings his team together. I think the thing with these top teams too is they not only do have really strong players and really strong carries, hyper carries, they play well as a team together. So they're just looking really strong. Wild Warriors. I know they just lost the final boss. I don't know. I think it's a mixture. I didn't get to watch the series. I was just playing my own, but I think final boss is also on the up and up. So it's not too much of a dig on Wild Warriors to lose to a previously
It did go
low-rated team.
2-1, so it was
Right, it's not like they
close.
just got stomped or anything. Yeah, and Final Boss, honestly, even their previous matches throughout the season, honestly, most of them have been pretty damn close, even in a lot of their O2s.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
think they're a bit underrated. So if I gave it more thought, honestly, I'd probably rate them a little higher. But anyways, Wall Warriors still looks insane with Osrul. We'll see how that plays out against more tough opponents. Gauntlet had a like imploded fucking last series apparently with the sub for some reason, but I think they're still pretty strong. We'll see how Wujin does. He's pretty goated. I think it's a pretty good replacement. So not that Sporadic was bad by any means, but I don't think it like so a lot of times you'll see replacements and it might be sus, but I think this one is a good one. POF, I think they looked honestly their weak side people are looking a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. I think Sai's still extremely strong. I think if they can just like rally the troops, do whatever they were doing at the start of the season where they look really clean throughout. I think Loki never saw might have leaked the fucking ultimate bans against them. We'll see how it plays out. I think yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I think we play them actually in like 2 days, so we'll see. Elo Surfers, a lot of sus moments. Then obviously, I think with Soapin, if he starts playing well again, they're crazy. Gumby's obviously always a monster. I think Gamer D's finding his stride again. So I think that team's had a really high start of season, big dip, and I think they're crawling back up. Some admins, honestly, definitely the more surprising team I've seen overall this season. Honestly, at the start of the season, I thought they were dog shit, and I honestly think they were dog shit. But I think they're finding their identity and they're playing really well as a team. I know firsthand after playing against them. I think now that they finally got one cake on carries, he's doing his thing. I think Frost is playing really well in the mid lane. Cookies is definitely getting better. He found like what works for him in the jungle. And then in their bot lane, they just got to hold out, do what they got to do. And I think so. I don't think they're obviously still not like top contenders yet, but I think they play really well as a team together. They play pretty safe. Obviously not probably the smartest or best macro I've ever seen, but Wancake's a really strong top laner, and I think he I mean he played really well last series. So they're surprising. My team honestly were a pretty big slump. We lost to jungle last series. Kind of not trolled it, but like probably didn't take it seriously. We probably should have, but fuck it. We just need like one game and we make playoffs. So I mean we'll see if we don't make playoffs. Honestly, that'd be fucking hilarious. But I still think if this team is like on point, once we're back in stride, everyone's playing the level. This is one of the teams where like since we don't have any like major weak points, it's kind of required for everyone to play at a good level. Versus some of these other teams, honestly, some of their lower elo players honestly don't really have to play that well to still get carried. But our team, everyone needs to be on point, and we're just not there right now. But I think when we are, we're definitely top three. But obviously, I haven't showed it since the start of the season. So we'll see how that plays off once we win the playoffs. World Soup Center. Honestly, like probably my most like disappointing team of the season, I would say out of me. I think I just overrated Hootie at the start of the season. I'm pretty sure some facts. I think he's like stuck in like Emerald right now
Mhm.
as a player who hit Masters. So he's one of the people that got hit hard with the hard rank reset. So because he would have been a major contributor to their success from what I saw earlier in the season, but since that's not really happening now and their bot side looks pretty weak, just looking sus. Final Boss definitely. If I probably watched all their series, including the one that just happened, I probably would have put them like a few higher at least. I mean, I always thought the team had potential. I always said as soon as they start figuring out, as soon as they start playing as a team together, they'll start looking good. And it seems like it's finally happening. And honestly, even Gators team, Allen Chipmunks, I think they looked really good in their series. To be fair, it was against McMammals, the other low-rated team, so it's kind of hard to really put them any higher. But I will say they did look really good against McMammals, who I thought was also on the incline up. And then now Gators team kind of stopped that, and now Gators team's kind of incline up. So we'll see how that plays out. A lot of fun games. Beaver Gaming. I don't think I caught their game this week, but it
Wasn't
sucks.
streamed.
Okay, they have some strong players, like I've said before, but they don't have any like all their carry roles, like literally top mid AC are just like I think just way too low, unfortunately for the competition. So strong players, honestly, like not the worst earlies, but yeah, it's just kind of doomed.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, that is gonna wrap up power rankings this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jason, VLN. Appreciate you guys join me this week, and yeah, I think next week we're probably just gonna end it off with a regular season one, and maybe just do one at the very end of the season, just regular season power rankings at the very end. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Deuces.